Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chit Chat and Chai.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chit Chat and Chai. I'm Shahzad, he's Numan.
My
We're
name is
churning
Numan.
these out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so weekly episodes hopefully from this week onwards. I
For
guess-
all of you guys that are tuning in every week, because there's so many of you guys, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. There's heaps. Now this is going to be like more of a small community kind of thing for now. And then we'll see where it takes us.
Okay, so what
Yeah.
are we talking about? It's not going to be a long episode like last time.
Today we're going to talk about finance. So, yeah, we haven't really touched on the topic of making money yet, really, and how it links to, I guess, Islam and
Yeah.
the teachings and the hadiths and the Quran.
Well, don't you feel like it's a bit of a taboo topic to talk about sometimes? When
It
people
is.
say, oh yeah, I'm making this much money.
It is taboo, yeah.
Do people sometimes get a bit of, a jealous look? Do they sometimes feel like, oh, what's he doing with all that money? Or why isn't he spending more of it on charity? He's got too much. Do you think that we can speak like that? Is that something we should be thinking about? Is that something that is our culture taking over us? Is that something that we can use Islam to combat against?
I think, no, we're not going to combat against anything. That's maybe the wrong word.
Okay.
We kind of have to make do with the society that we live in right now, which is pretty much one that is driven by money. Everything is transactional in 2025. Even things that we took for granted maybe back, even back in the time of our parents or our grandparents, things that were like just free, or even like between family members. Say for example, like disability care.
Yeah.
The NDIS is a hugely profitable industry right now so NDIS, for those who don't know, is the disability insurance scheme in Australia. It's a heavily government subsidized scheme, but business owners are actually making a huge amount of profit from that industry.
Well, I think
after,
there's more checks and balances
yeah.
that now are stopping the exploitation of the
Yeah.
NDIS scheme. Plan.
Yeah. Even though we have checks and balances, it doesn't stop people from finding loopholes.
Right. Okay, that's good.
A lot of people who start businesses nowadays are looking for those loopholes, just to kind of make a
You're
quick
right.
buck. I'm not just talking disability care. I'm not just talking the childcare.
Okay.
Things that we used
Just
to kind
in
of
general.
things that we used to kind of rely on our community to kind of fulfill, right? Back in the day.
I mean, even business owners who might be, I don't know, they're trying to find loopholes and save themselves money in a business, and they're not always 100% honest, but there are some honest, there are some very nice ones. There are some that make up for it because maybe they're not totally transparent, but they're still very accommodating.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So don't you think that, being accommodating can balance it out? Like if you're just a very nice person, do you think you have to be 100% honest? Sometimes you got to conceal things just because it's too complicated for someone else to understand, the normal person to understand.
I really think it's up to what your intentions are. I keep going back to it, but if you're making a for-profit business and then you're looking to invest that money into something else,
Right.
it can be just you have to do what you need to do in the short term to get what you want to be in the long term. It's like a means to an end almost.
Yeah, sure.
So
Yeah, I don't see a business as the just be all to end all. It's gonna just end at that,
yeah,
It's just something that you can use as a vehicle.
yeah.
So you're an entrepreneur, for example, and you want to use the business as a vehicle to opening up that charity, because usually you can't do it just relying on what? Centrelink or your mum or your dad. You need your own, an independent source of income,
Mm-hmm.
What, are you trying to make an income for yourself?
Yeah,
Are you trying to be your own boss?
Yeah, I mean, that's everyone's dream. Unless,
Why aren't more people becoming businessmen, or businesswomen, and business people?
I think it's just because people have been acclimatized to working 9 to 5 jobs.
But don't you think that if everyone was a business person, then who would be running their work? Who would be doing the stuff, 9 to 5? How can we have everyone as a business person?
That's true, and I'm not arguing against that at all. I think that we need people who work for the entrepreneurs.
And who's gonna do that?
Yeah, it's the people who are diligent, who are okay with, just having that kind of stable salary.
I think Allah puts the desire and this inspiration, this ilham into anyone to just pursue a business or to do something where they're the entrepreneur, they're the one in charge, and they're taking lead, right? I feel like any business person has to be a leader and has to take initiative.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be very proactive and very out there in the community because, when you're a business person, your face is your advertisement, right? Your face is basically there, and it's the one thing that's going to attract your customers. What you sell yourself to be. A lot of business people want to look, more attractive or more, certain of themselves, more confident, because they want people to buy their products, right? And so that's why that doesn't happen in so many people. It's not like every Sahaba was, like Umar radiallahu anhu, who was so confident and was so ready to fight. You had people who were more willing to work, more willing to go behind the scenes. So that's why I think that you have business people and then you have workers. And really, whether you're a business person or not, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just something that you have to embrace and do the best that you can. Like, you can be the worst business person, you can be the worst entrepreneur, but you can be the best worker, and if that's what Allah has decided for you, then so be it.
I agree. No, I genuinely think that you can break it down into 2 categories, and this goes back to the time of Prophet alayhi salam and the Sahaba. If you're an entrepreneur, you can almost think of yourself as somebody who's leading the Sahaba, right? And the Sahaba as the ones who are working towards your vision.
Right, interesting.
Yeah. So every business, I think, is in essence a relationship between the leader and its followers.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I agree.
I think generally, if you're naturally inclined or maybe talented in just public speaking, in entrepreneurship, coming up with business ideas, leading people, then you're going to be playing that role of the CEO of a company.
Okay.
Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, they were all pioneers in their industry.
Yeah.
And they had thousands, hundreds of thousands of people working for them at one stage.
So you're saying if you consider yourself a leader, you should, in the market space and in the careers, you should be a business person. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I think
Really?
you have to have a fundamental, before you reach that stage, you have to have fundamental value set.
Yeah, right.
Your values have to be in the right place. Disciplined.
Very disciplined. I mean, though, a worker has to be very disciplined as well.
Yeah, but this is a different kind of discipline, I reckon. This is more in the sense that you take responsibility when you make mistakes.
Okay.
This is you can't shy away from things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So there's more responsibility, there's more risk on yourself.
Yeah.
And so that's why you deserve the most benefit out of the business, right? That's why you get paid the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
You heard that right.
I didn't.
If you're a business person, it means that you don't suck up to anybody else. It means you're a leader. And if you're a leader, then you're a business person. That's Shahzad's logic. That's what he just said.
Yeah, I'm drawing parallels here, but like we're unfortunately seeing here, like especially here in Australia, a lot of business owners doing it for the wrong reasons.
Like Muslim business owners?
Yeah, even Muslim business owners, they're pretty much doing it for the baseline, the profit.
Are you a Muslim business owner?
I don't have my own business right now. I guess you could consider this as sort of a business, but I'm not hiring anyone. It's just a two-man thing. You know, we're not turning over like thousands a month or anything like that.
Yeah.
We'll see, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah, but I think you gotta sell something. You need to have a product probably.
Yeah.
And then you promote that product in the podcast.
Absolutely, yeah.
The podcast has to do service, yeah, but I mean I think products are much easier, more
I've never been a huge fan of selling material goods.
It could be something purposeful, it could be something beneficial. It could be teacups.
Yeah, but like even this is a material good. Like
tea is beneficial.
It is
Shade.
for sure, yeah. Like you can grow your own tea, but like that's already a saturated industry. A lot of industries are saturated, let's be honest.
Yeah. What if it was a specific tea? You know, what would you do if you had a business? Be honest.
I have a friend that lives in he's Azerbaijani. He lives with my cousins in Budapest.
Wow.
And
that's very cool.
He's super interested in just like growing his own tea.
But what would you have as a business if you had your own business? What would you do? You're telling everybody, hey guys, let's do businesses, let's start business. What would you do?
From my experience, having tried and kind of failed in the business sphere, that was probably like a step too far for me at the stage when I tried. I was trying to do a consultancy for migrants and refugees.
No, but was that your business?
Yes.
That was your business?
Yes, it was.
So would you? No. But would you do that?
You mean the one
is that
like
something you can see happening that you would want to do? Tomorrow.
Yes, in the future, inshallah. Yes.
So what's stopping you? Why in the future? In the future is so broad and so distant. What about tomorrow? That's still the future. What's stopping you from doing it?
Gaining more experience. I have to gain experience.
How are you gaining more experience?
For example, this kind of industry consultancy, it requires huge amount of connections.
I know it might sound like I'm generalizing, but don't you think that any business or any big venture, any big step in life just takes that one first small step that says, okay, I'm going to start my ABN or whatever, or I'm going to do this and that. Maybe you have already. But then after that small step, then you say, okay, we got a bit momentum. Now I'm going to start the next step, next step, next step. And you just keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like you find the next step. You don't have to wait for the next step to come to you. Like you just take a step. You just got to do it. So you've done the ABN, you've done this and that. Like what's the next step? What can you see as something that you can do next?
Next step was to literally have the industry connections.
The industry connections?
Yes. So what I mean by this was that I had the ABN, I had everything sorted. There was a business advisory that I was part of for 9 months. We had monthly catch-ups with my advisor. He would give me tips and tricks about how to kind of market, generate more, leads, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
But the missing step was, for me, I wanted to do big things. Like I wanted to get people jobs. I wanted to get people like kind of scholarships, especially like newly settled migrants.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And if you want to do that, if you don't have industry connections, that's impossible pretty much.
Why don't you start because I think anything can be done even if you just start small, even if it's independent. Why don't you start at a smaller scale instead of like how you said big things? Yeah. If you start at a small scale and you push yourself, like you actually find your own resources, you find your own materials, or you connect with those people that can help you on a smaller scale. Because usually, like 99% of the time, it'll be much easier to find the people willing to help you on a smaller scale than the people willing to help you on a larger scale at first. You know what I mean? Look for people who are doing similar things to you. You're going to have to work, I suppose, with those people as well. But they'll eventually help you, work up and up until you can find that larger scale of things. Yeah.
No, I agree. Small scale, and then you work your way up.
Yeah. So this was less of a finance talk, more of a like
Entrepreneurship.
oh, like just taking the opportunity if you want to be a business person.
Yeah.
Like there's no rule that says you can't, and there's no rule that says you have to be one. If you want to be independent or a Sigma or whatever, like if you just want to be a leader, absolutely you should take that step.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, thank you very much for listening, everybody. I do hope that you enjoyed this
talk. It was a very short episode, but
Chit Chat and Chai.
Yeah. Regardless, hopefully you can tune in for us every week. It's gonna be more of this coming. Good stuff, inshallah.
Get ready. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have to say Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.